Hello, everyone out there in Rumble X and YouTube land. Welcome back to Diego Knows. I, of course, am Diego. And now we're going to talk some more about Wicked. That's right, Wicked, your movie. Gay coded all the way. Everything about this movie is gay. All right, let's just get it out of the way. Right, it's pretty gay. Okay, you're not going to convince me that there was any heterosexuality involved in the making of this movie in any way, shape, or form. Okay, nothing wrong with that. I'm just, let's not pretend it's something else when it's not. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Let's look at it for what it really is. All right. Yes, they got a right to it as well, just like everybody else does. Okay, but let's not pretend it's something else when we all know damn well what it really is. Okay. All right. So, Wicked. Where we left off last time. Okay, the whole idea about the Wizard of Oz and Elphaba and Glinda, they arrived at the Emerald City. We got that whole little musical scene with Idina Menzel and Christian Chenoweth, okay, where they basically pass the torch to their film counterparts, okay, and now Elphaba and Glinda have actually arrived at the Wizard's Palace, and they're speaking to the Wizard, okay. They're shocked that the Wizard comes out from behind the curtain, and it turns out that the Wizard is not some giant mechanical head, okay, that they were greeted with. The Wizard is actually just a normal looking, tall, Jewish, skinny, older man who looks like Jeff Goldblum. Okay, despite the fact that that's exactly how he's been depicted in this entire movie. Okay, they have books of him. There's placards of him at the university. They got statues of him. They got statues of his face. Everybody in the goddamn wonderful Wizard of Oz, wonderful Land of Oz knows that the Wizard is just a normal looking guy. Okay, but apparently Elphaba and Glinda are shocked when he appears from behind the curtain as a normal looking guy, as opposed to the giant floating head, mechanical head that we saw. All right? Or the hologram that we saw in the original Wizard of Oz movie. Anyway, so that goes on here. They arrive. He gives them a big little presentation. He has a giant miniaturized floor model of the Land of Oz. He explains to them the yellow brick road, how that works. Glinda decides to color the road yellow. Actually, it's Glinda's choice. All right. He tells Elphaba, basically, he really sucks up to Elphaba for some reason and lets her know that he can, he implies that he can change her skin color back to normal. And he implies that he wants to basically make her his second in command. We don't know why. Okay. I mean, we know why. The audience knows why, but Elphaba doesn't know why. She never asks. Oh, well, why are you so interested? That's what I would ask. If the Wizard came up to me and said, "Hey, listen, I'm so happy you're here. I heard all about you, and how would you like to live here and work with me, and having you with me makes me feel parental. I've always wanted to have a family of my own, that kind of thing. What's going to be my legacy to live on, that kind of thing. I've always wanted to be a father. That's why I treat all the people in Oz like they're my children." Like just implying it all the way. All right. Of course, Elphaba doesn't pick up on any of this stuff. Okay. But she also doesn't question the Wizard. Why does he all of a sudden like me so much? Why is he so interested in me? She never asked that question. Okay. And of course, he wants to give her everything. Hey, look, you this doll. I can change your skin. I'll make you my second in command. You'll be living here with me. I'm hoping you'll call this place home someday. What is it? What is your heart's desire? And she tells him, "I don't want to rule Oz. I don't care about that. All I really want is for you to help the animals. The animals need you right now. They're being persecuted. Okay, they're being hunted down. They're being forced into cages where they won't learn how to speak languages anymore. Okay, they're being fired from their jobs. The animals are in hiding. They're scared. There's all this hate speech against them and stuff. And I need you to help them. Okay, because they're not being treated fairly." Okay, and the Wizard says, like, okay, yeah, whatever, Okay, he implies that he'll get back to that later. All right. And then all of a sudden, he does this big song and dance where he sings, "I'm a Sentimental Man." He plays the ball behind the curtain. You see the shadow, the silhouette of him playing with a ball behind the curtain, whatever. Just him, Jeff Goldblum being Jeff Goldblum. All right. Okay, he's kind of a weirdo in real life anyway. All right, but he's awesome. I've always been a big Jeff Goldblum fan. I remember him from a movie called what? Yes, he was in Death Wish, the first Death. He was one of the rapists, okay, that raped and murdered Charles Bronson's wife. Okay, I think that's the first movie he was ever in. He doesn't say anything in it, but I just recognized him as one of the rapists there. Okay, I remember him from a movie called Thank God It's Friday, one of my favorite disco movies. It's a low budget. They were riding the disco craze back then. It was the late '70s. Saturday Night Fever was a big hit. Everybody was trying to cash in on the Saturday Night Fever money. So they made a movie as a comedy. Basically, it was a TV show. And it's all full of TV actors, including Deborah Winger. Deborah Winger was in it too. Yeah. Okay. And yet all these different subplots, like an episode of The Love Boat or like something like out of like Fantasy Island. Okay. You know, all these different characters. They all go to one nightclub. They all have different storylines. You know, sometimes they bump into each other at the nightclub. Okay. Donna Summer was in it. Okay. It's a very funny movie. Okay. And Jeff Goldblum played the owner. He played the owner of the nightclub. Okay, he's this arrogant prick, you know. He thinks he's all, he got this beautiful Porsche, you know, that he covers it with he puts a bag over it after he parks it so that nobody even touches it, you know, that kind of thing. And of course, everyone keeps crashing into this car throughout the course of the movie. You know, he wears expensive clothes. He picks up a lot of women. He fucks all the women, all his employees. He fucks all the hot girls that work for him. He fucks them all. Okay. And he makes a bet with another guy, the DJ. He makes a bet with the DJ of the nightclub that he can fuck any woman in this house, in this club. You know, so they bet like $100 that he can do. He's okay, fine, you're on. And he finds this housewife, okay, beautiful housewife, okay, but she's there with her husband. They're celebrating their anniversary. They're too old to be there. They're like in their late 30s, but she wants to feel young again. So what are the kids doing these days? Let's go into a discotheque. So the Jewish husband, who's an accountant, he doesn't want to spend money. Oh my God, I don't know, we're spending all this money. How much it costs? It's $4 for a drink here. Are you crazy? Like that kind of guy, right? So she's not having a good time with the husband. He starts seducing her, separates them, blah, blah, blah. Then this weirdo freaking drug addict girl, you know, who looks like Deborah Harry with pink hair and shit. You know, she gets him on drugs. And they separate, and the housewife almost ends up leaving with Jeff Goldblum. She almost walks out. She actually walks out of the club with him. Like she's gonna go fuck him, okay? Because he gives her this big song and dance. Like, you know, I can have any woman I want to tonight, okay? Honestly, okay? I know that, okay? But when I saw you, I just knew that you and I had a connection, okay? And whatever it takes, I just swear to you that you know, I just want to see where that goes. I want to explore that. I just want to explore what you and I could possibly have. And that's all I'm trying to do. You know, that kind of thing. Of course, he seduces her, boom, takes her, you know. But then the husband wakes up out of his fucking drug-induced trance and he basically smashes his car and says, "Get away from my wife." You know, that kind of, they leave. So he gets cock-blocked, all right? And then his car gets destroyed. It's a really funny movie. You got to watch it yourself. It's very funny, okay? Very funny movie. I loved it. It's a little-known movie. Donna Summer's in it. If you know the song, one of her songs, Last Dance, was one of her biggest hits. Last Dance Tonight. Okay. That song, the climax of this movie is when Donna Summer sings that song. Because she plays a character in this movie. Okay, where she goes on one stage, she sings that song during the climax of the movie. It's awesome. It's called Thank God It's Friday. Go watch it. The soundtrack is incredible. Find my way. I must leave, you got to find my way. Yeah. Yes, I've listened to the soundtrack many times. Anyway, Jeff Goldblum was in that, and I remember that when I was a little kid. All right? Even one of the girls in the movie, one of the teenage girls in the movie that they're trying to sneak into the club because they're underage, obviously. The girl, I don't remember her name, but she's actually became the lead singer of this band called Berlin. So she was the woman that actually sings Take My Breath Away, okay, from Top Gun. That was her. Okay, she's in this movie. It's all TV actors, okay? But anyway, it's a good movie. Go watch it, all right? And my name is Mark Gomez, the Leatherman. Yeah, it was stereotypical Mexican stuff they did there. Anyway, and I'm Mexican. It pissed me off a little bit. But it was fun at the time. Oh, well, I didn't know any better. I was a little fucking kid. Anyway, so that's where I first saw Jeff Goldblum, and he's just blown up since then. I also remember him in Invasion of the Body Snatchers. I was also late 70s. That's the one with Donald Sutherland. Yeah, Leonard Nimoy was in that too. Yeah. Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Yeah. That's the one where at the end, what's her name? I can't remember her name, but her sister was in Lost in Space. Okay, but anyway, oh, God, it's on the tip of my tongue. Cartwright. Angela Cartwright. Angela Cartwright, no, she was the one in Lost in Space. It was her sister, Nancy Cartwright. I think, was it Nancy Cartwright or Cynthia Cartwright? Something Cartwright. Okay, anyway, she's there and she calls Donald Sutherland. Donald Sutherland turns around. He's like, like that. And you close up his mouth. Okay, that Invasion of the Body Snatchers. Okay, yeah. Jeff Goldblum was in that too. He gets taken over by the pods. What else was he in? He's done Transylvania 65000. I think that's the one where he met his girlfriend, Gina. I think they were married actually and got divorced. Gina Davis. They were together for a long time. I do know that. Transylvania 65000. I think I saw that when I was like 10 or something, and I forgot about it. It wasn't that good. Even I was a little kid. I watched a lot of dumb shit when I was a little kid, right? Like, we had HBO, all right? And nothing else to do on a Friday night, okay? I'm fucking 11, 12 years old. What the fuck else am I going to watch? I'm going to watch HBO. All the R-rated movies. And I think I watched Transylvania 65000. I might have been like 10 or something, yeah. John Biner was in it. I love John Biner because I used to watch Bizarre, okay? Which is a show that he did with Super Dave Osborne, all right? So there was that. He also did, of course, The Fly. That's the big one right there. I watched that movie over and over again. I went to the theater when it first came out. I had never seen the original one from the 50s, okay? But this movie blew me away. The body horror concept was new to me. And, I mean, that movie was just a 10 in every sense of the word. That's where I became a Jeff Goldblum fan, was when I saw The Fly, the 1987 Fly. That's also with Gina Davis. Incredible movie. Body horror all the way. Yeah, that's David Cronenberg. That guy knew how to do that. He knew how to make a better reboot of the original movie. Okay, so yeah, that was a great movie, and that's where he first came on my radar big time. Okay, but yeah, other than that, I remember him. He guest starred on the Gary Shandling show. I used to watch the Gary Shandling show. Not Larry Sanders. I never watched Larry Sanders. I watched the Gary Shandling show from the 80s, and I remember he was in an episode of that or something. Okay, but of course, then Jurassic Park, and then Independence Day, and his career just blew up. Okay, and very well known guy in Hollywood, very funny guy. I love making fun of him. Everybody makes fun of him now, but nobody made fun of him back then. Okay? They didn't think he was a weirdo. They do now because he still acts the way that he did back then, even though he's an old man now. He's still like, he still has to well, the way that we do it here is, you talk about this, but then you have to go. And then you, of course, there you find it like that. It's just so weird. It's just so fucking weird. And of course, he brings that to this movie, which I think is kind of cool. Okay, I've always been a Jeff Goldblum fan. I love the guy to death. He's fucking hilarious. He even did a movie with Cyndi Lauper called Vibes. Okay, nobody saw that fucking movie, and I remember that movie. Also, he also played Ernie Kovacs. You don't even know who that was, do you? Ernie Kovacs. He was a famous comedian in the 40s, in the 50s. Okay, and he actually died. I think it was in a car accident. He died. Very famous. He was actually in the very last episode of I Love Lucy. Okay, the very last one they did. I mean, they literally filmed that episode the day before Lucy and Ricky signed their divorce papers in real life, okay? Desi and Lucy signed their divorce papers, okay? When they did that episode, Ernie Kovacs and his wife, Edie Adams, were the guest stars of that episode. And Edie Adams sings this song called, That's All, Okay, and Ernie Kovacs in that episode as well, because they were married in real life. Well, he passed away in a car accident, and apparently he never paid his taxes. He hadn't paid his taxes in 10 years, so Edie Adams had to pay, which back then, we're talking like 1960, I think she had to pay it was $185,000 in her husband's back taxes, okay? She got stuck with the bill, and she actually ended up paying it all off. It took her years to do it, but she ended up paying off that debt that her husband accumulated, okay? Anyway, Ernie Kovacs, Jeff Goldblum played Ernie Kovacs in a made-for-TV movie about him. Okay, so the guy's got range. He's done a lot of things. I think he just, people just figured out, let's just let Jeff Goldblum be Jeff Goldblum. Okay? People want to see Jeff Goldblum. They don't want to see him play a character. Whoever the character is, it's going to be Jeff Goldblum. All right? So just let him do him. Do you, okay? And they did, okay? And of course, that's how he plays the Wizard, which I think was a good choice. I mean, who else could play the Wizard? Okay? Who else could do Frank Morgan justice, the actor that played the original Wizard of Oz? Nobody. You got to have an eccentric guy, an older eccentric guy, a guy that looks like a con man, that's a smooth talker. He's charming. He knows how to flatter you so you can let your guard down, and then he'll fucking cons you. Yeah, I think Jeff Goldblum is great for the role. He's perfect, all right? So he's there, okay, and we're introduced to him. He does the whole song and dance about he wants to be paternal or whatever. He wants to be, let's say he's a sentimental man. Okay, and then all of a sudden, Madame Morrible shows up, okay? Michelle Yeoh, okay, the only Asian character in all of Hollywood right now. They give her all the roles. And she shows up there in her white wig, she's playing an older lady. Okay, and she's the dean of sorcery at Shiz University, which is where Elphaba and Glinda are enrolled. All right, and she's been tutoring Elphaba in her magical telekinetic powers. So she shows up there. She's happy to see Elphaba. She doesn't want to miss out on Elphaba's big day meeting the wizard, but she is kind of upset that Glinda's there too. Glinda tagged along on this trip to the Emerald City. All right, so the wizard explains. Okay, we get to see the Grimoire, okay, the magical book that we saw earlier. It was talked about earlier, but now it's right there in the room with them, okay? So Elphaba's looking at it, they're all looking at it. The wizard explains that it might be too early to have Elphaba try to cast a spell with the Grimoire book because she just got there, okay? But she wants to prove herself, okay? Elphaba wants to prove herself to the wizard that she can do it, okay? That she has powers and that she can help the wizard, and she's going to attempt to read the Grimoire book, all right, and cast a spell, all right? And it opens for her automatically. How? I guess because her parents drank that green liquid when they were fucking, and that automatically gave Elphaba the powers to open up a book and to read a book in a language that she's never been exposed to, that no one has ever been exposed to. And that's alive anyway in the Land of Oz. But I guess drinking a liquid like that and fucking your children won't be able to read languages that no one has ever read before. Okay, that's the power. I guess that's what was in the green liquid that they drank. All right. Anyway, so that's going on here. Okay, and it opens up for her. Okay, and then we're introduced to Chistery. Now Chistery is the captain of the Royal Guard, which means he's a blue monkey. He's a blue monkey with a staff. Okay, and what do you call it? The wizard tells Glinda and Elphaba, oh, this is my captain of the guard. His name is Chistery, the blue monkey. Okay, and that what he doesn't like to talk about himself. So I suppose I'll just have to do it for him. But what he really enjoys doing is he likes to he watches the birds. He watches the birds when they're up there, in the air, flying. He watches the birds, and every morning. And the gaze, the gaze when he's looking at the birds up in the air, he wishes that he could fly. He wishes that he could fly. So he does. Okay, that was my Jeff Goldblum impression, all right. But anyway, so he does that. He tells her. So of course, this gives Elphaba the impetus to cast a spell, so that the monkey can fly, so that Chistery will be able to fly. So she opens up the book with her telekinetic mental powers. Okay, she opens up to that specific page, and Madame Morrible explains to Elphaba that she can only she's a sorceress. She's the dean of sorcery, and even she can only read a couple of words out of this book, and that's it. And that took her years just to do that. So she doesn't expect Elphaba to be able to read the words, but of course Elphaba immediately starts reading all the words. She knows how to pronounce the words. She knows exactly what they all mean. How? Because her parents were drinking that green liquid when they were fucking. I guess that's how she got her powers. That's it's not explained in the movie. That's bad writing. Anyway, of course, Elphaba can read everything in the book. Okay, why? Because she's the chosen one. That just explains everything. She's the chosen one. All right. Okay, so the pages change, okay, and Chistery, the blue monkey, starts painfully going, he starts screaming in pain. He's rolling around the floor, and these big, giant blue wings start popping out of his back. Now, it's clearly obvious that this monkey is in a lot of pain. This is a painful transformation. Very painful. And Elphaba realizes that she made a mistake. I don't care whatever the hell I just did here. It's causing this poor monkey a lot of pain. I need to reverse it right now. Okay? So the wings start growing painfully out of the monkey's back. Elphaba watches in horror. She does watch him start to fly, though, and Glinda's like, oh my God, you did it. You did it, Elfie. And Elphaba's like, he's in pain. How do I reverse it? She goes to Madame Morrible. How do I reverse it? And Morrible tells her, hey, the spells from the Grimoire can never be reversed. So all of a sudden she hears all the monkeys screaming in the next room. So she runs over there and she sees all the blue monkey guards are now screaming in pain. They're all growing wings out of their back and screaming in pain. Okay? So the spell affected all the monkeys, not just Chistery. All right? Now, obviously, we know the flying monkeys, okay? We know all the reference for that, okay? But this is how they became the flying monkeys, okay? She sees all the monkeys changing, okay? And Madame Morrible and the wizard are actually happy while they're watching this. They're like, oh my God, look, she did it. She did it, you know? And they're actually excited about this, okay? And the wizard says, like, this is what we wanted. This is exactly what we wanted. Eyes in the sky. And Morrible's like, yes, yes, of course. And they'd be perfect as spies. Perfect. Okay, and of course, you know, the wizards, of course, Elphaba hears it, goes like, what? Spies? What are you talking about? And then she runs away. And the wizard's like, bad word, that's a bad word. Scouts, that's a much better word. Scouts, that is a much, much better word. Scouts, we need scouts that can fly around the land of Oz and report on any seditious activity. Isn't that better? Okay, and Elphaba, of course, is disgusted. Okay, but now she puts two and two together. She realizes something, okay? All this persecution of the animals has been because of the wizard. The wizard is the one who did this. It's not an accident that people are turning against the animals. The wizard has launched a huge PR campaign against the animals of Oz to unite all the humans together against a common enemy. There was no common enemy, so they invented one. It's the animals. Basically, it's a metaphor for racism, okay? Which, of course, you know, Antifa Elphaba is all about, okay? Going against the corrupt Republicans that are in charge of Oz, you know? anyway, so, don't even pretend that the filmmakers, we all know what political party the people that made this movie are in, okay? We all know that, okay? So don't tell me it's an accident or I'm just reading too much into it. No, I'm not. You know goddamn well. Okay, the message that's being set here. Okay, so of course the leader is corrupt. We got to bring him down. All right. So of course he basically launched a smear campaign against all the animals of Oz. Okay, in order to unite the whole kingdom. Okay. So Elphaba's disgusted, and she's like, "It's because of you. You're the reason people are turning against the animals." You know, and Madame Morrible says like, "It's all to keep the people safe. All of Oz will benefit from this, and so will you." Well, Elphaba's like, the wizard says like, listen to me, Elphaba, listen to me. When I first got here, there was discord and discontent, okay? Now, back where I'm from, the best way to bring people together is to give them a good enemy. Now, right here, he's telegraphing what he's going to do to Elphaba. Why is Elphaba the Wicked Witch of the West? Because he created a fake enemy so that the public could go against. Okay, he's basically telling Elphaba what he's going to do to her. If I can't make the animals the enemy, I'll make you the enemy. I'll get everyone against you. I will launch the largest fucking PR smear campaign in the history of the world, in the history of Oz. Okay, I'll have all the celebrities talk shit about you. Okay, I will have all the media print nothing but bad things about you. I'll have all the media pundits report how terrible you are. Okay, and I will make it all look like every problem that we have is your fault. Okay, because we're the cool kids, and people want to be cool like us. So we're going to have fucking everyone from Beyonce to Taylor Swift to Cardi B is going to tell you who the real wicked person is in this town. You see what I mean? Sound familiar? Okay. Well, you know, that's what's happening to Elphaba. Okay. Well, that's what's going to happen to her. Okay. Because she won't go along. She will not toe the line. She will not spout out the bullshit narrative that the wizard wants to spat out, okay? And if that doesn't work, well then, we might just have to send a kid, a punk, who's in a BlackRock commercial to do something about you. Or better yet, how about a little girl? Nobody will see that coming. You see what I mean? So obviously the wizard doesn't love Elphaba. He's trying to use her because she's the only one that can, you know, do this stuff, do what he needs her to do, okay? And this is actually the point of the entire movie, okay? Is, in order to unite people, you got to create a villain. And if there isn't one available, you got to make one up, okay? If they can't do the animals, they'll do Elphaba. She'll be the bad guy, okay? So Elphaba quickly figures out that the wizard can't read the Grimoire. That's the reason he needs her, because she's the only one who can read the goddamn book and cast the spells that he needs her to cast, okay? And then when she confronts him with this, he admits it. He admits it. That's right. I don't have any power. That's why I need you, okay? And Elphaba's like, so that's why you need all these theatrics. That's why you need all this, and the spies, and the animals in cages, and to make up an enemy, because you have no real power. Now, Glinda and Madame Morrible, they plead with Elphaba to not do this, okay? To go along with the narrative, okay? Go along with the CNN anchors and the MSDNC, okay? And just believe what they're telling the public. Just go with it. Just go with it. Don't rock the boat. Don't make things hard for you, okay? I know it's a shit sandwich, but everybody's eating it, and they love it. At least we think they do. And they want more of it. So they need to see you eating that sandwich as well. Or else. You see what I mean? So that's going on, okay? Okay, and the wizard says, like, Elphaba, listen to me. Everything I said there about you being here, making this place your home, and ruling Oz with me, I meant every single word. About you having a home here. I meant it. You can have a home here. You and even Glinda can live here too. Wouldn't you like that? And Elphaba was like, no! And then she runs away with the book. With the Grimoire. She runs out of there with the Grimoire, all right? So now Madame Morrible's pissed. She looks right at Glinda and goes like, she basically tells her, if you want to prove yourself, you better go and get Elphaba back here now. And Glinda's like, okay. And so she runs after Elphaba to bring Elphaba back. All right? Boom. Yes, how the tides have changed. Okay, I'm going to stop my review right here, but I'll be back shortly to continue my review of Wicked. I thank you very much for watching this long, and I'll see you soon on the next one. Bye.